What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Football Game Show brought to you by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-host, John Luke Garofalo. What's up, JL?
What up?
I lost my breath for a moment there. No idea where it went, but I was going to introduce everyone in one fell swoop, but we've got two amazing guests joining us today as well. Great friends of the show, Joshua Cho. You can find him on Twitter at JBChoKnows. Well, he will answer any and every fantasy question with his fantasy football expertise you send his way. And we got Andrew Hall joining us as well on Twitter at AndrewHallFF, a writer over at Fantasy Pros and a host over at the Dynasty Junkies podcast. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today.
Glad to be here, man.
Where else would I be? Come on.
In the chat, calling me an idiot, apparently, is where you would be.
Not directly, Simon. Don't call me out like that. Jeez.
They told me who was coming on today, and I was just like, how could you book the two nicest guys on the same exact show? Truly, two of the nicest guys put together.
Hey, when it gets to competition,
nice
though, competition.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm nice.
You don't want to see
Josh,
competition, Joe.
That's
he comes in hot. He only says thank you once.
That's right.
My pleasure.
No, seriously, my pleasure.
He'll tell you good job after you win instead of great job.
Yeah.
His
Wow.
GG. There's no
man.
chance his GG stands for great game.
Good golly.
It's like
This reminds me of like
roast.
my parents have this. If they're watching, Mom, close your ears, okay? Close your ears right now, because they have this image of my girlfriend as just the sweetest, kindest, most gentle human on planet Earth. And I know for a fact, because of that they have never once played a single competitive event game or something that could even have a competitive element to it with her, because a different person comes out, man. It like where Josh is saying the competitive, like, oh my God, she turns on it instant.
Yeah, we went on a family vacation in September and we got to play some Uno, and my wife's real character came out, and it was eye-opening for my whole family. Yeah, they were like, "Oh, you're serious about this? Let's go reverse. Let's go."
We got some people in the chat ready for today's show. Dustin in here said, "Let's do it, boys.
Let's go.
Let's do it indeed." And Dame with the yo. What's up, Dame? Welcome, man.
Hello.
Change
up,
one
Dame?
letter, and we got Dave in here. What's up, Dave? Glad to have you here.
Why has that never crossed my brain?
I
Right?
don't know. And
What up,
Dustin
Dave?
excited. Andrew, Josh.
Josh got one more exclamation point. I'm jealous. That's fine.
One
It's
more.
'cause his name's
exclamation. I'm
short.
already
Look how many
winning.
more. Look how many more
his name's
letters you
shorter.
got.
Okay.
I'm already winning.
Scampers in here said, "Oh, holy hi,
Up, Scampers?
everyone."
Hello, Mr. Scampers.
And we got Albert in here as well.
What
What's
up, Albert?
Welcome
What's up?
in. Also, Jail, I think I figured out why Jay scheduled Josh and Andrew. He's just trying to fully expose us as assholes, and nothing will make that more abundantly clear than putting us on a show for an hour with both Andrew and Josh.
Dude, y'all are the best, man. What are you talking about?
The best assholes, maybe.
The best assholes. Yeah.
You've been nothing but kind, and every time I've been on.
We've been
Front
nothing
Yard
but assholes.
Fantasy, the kindest and best assholes.
That might draw a different
It sounds
crowd.
like you're proud of our like delicatessen. Finest and finest assholes.
Well, guys, today we brought Andrew and Josh here to play some poll perception, a game of which I surprisingly learned today neither one of them has ever played on the show, even though they've been on quite a few times. So we're going to play some poll perception today. It's our OG game, the game that tests the contestants' knowledge of the public perception of fantasy football players. How it works is I found 7 juicy, succulent, delicious, scrumptious polls online before this show started. I'm going to propose one of those polls to a contestant. I may ask JL, "Hey, JL, what percentage of people chose side A in this poll?"
64.
JL's going to give me a percentage. Always for side A. That first option that I list is going to be the one you're guessing the number for. The closer he is, the more points he's going to get, up to a max of 10 if he's exactly right, 0 if he's more than 15 away. Now, Josh and Andrew, after he sets that line, and before I reveal the answer, your job is going to be to guess whether the actual answer is over or under the actual answer from that poll. Get that right? You're going to add 2 points to your score. We'll go like this through 6 polls, 2 full rounds, before we get to our 7th and final poll, where there's no more of this over-under nonsense. Everyone's writing down their answer, and the person with the most points at the end of that 7th round is our poll perception champion. In the words of my friend Dustin, let's do it, boys.
Let's do it, boys.
Ready.
You ready?
Ready.
Yeah.
Well, we have two things we need to handle before we get into this game. First and foremost, we need to determine the order here. So, JL, I'm going to ask you, who's going first, Josh or Andrew?
Ooh. I need music to make my decision.
John Luke, the decision is yours. Who will be going first in today's game of poll perception? Will it be the illustrious Andrew Hall or the ever so handsome Joshua Cho?
Ooh, illustrious and ever so handsome. I'm going to have to go with ever so handsome.
Ever so handsome
Joshua
Joshua Cho, step up to the plate. You are the first contestant on
All right.
poll perception. John Luke, I'm going to put you in the middle, make a nice little sandwich with the nicest bread we've ever seen, and a nice vegetarian option in the middle. Cho, you ready? I'm going to propose a poll to you.
All right.
You tell me the percentage that you think chose the first side, and we'll see how it goes. This
All
is
right.
poll number 1. Side A. This is a dynasty poll, okay?
All
So
right.
a dynasty league. Side A is Calvin Ridley.
Ooh.
Side B is Jahan Dotson. What percentage of people chose Calvin Ridley in this poll?
I'm gonna say 51%.
51% chose Calvin Ridley, just one over the middle there.
Yeah.
John Luke, what do you think of Josh's guess there? Do you think it's over, under, or exactly the same as 51%?
51% for Calvin Ridley. Jahan Dotson, he was moved up pretty significantly in those trade value charts, those dynasty trade value charts we saw from Alex this past week. I'm going to have to go with under.
Ooh.
I'm going to have to go with over. Switching it up. Let's go.
I love when JL lays out the argument for one side and then goes, actually, the other one.
Sometimes I'm a little bit too persuasive.
Yeah.
Persuade
yeah.
myself.
Josh taking 51%, JL taking the over. Andrew, are you following JL on the over here, or are you going with his initial guess and following JL on the under?
I'm glad that JL switched so that we can have different answers because I'm going under. I think that Jahan Dotson is getting some heat right now, especially with the news of Wentz getting cut. I think there's a chance that people are dealing with the hopium right now and kind of seeing the reality and saying Dotson's going to be the guy with McLaurin and Ridley. We don't know how he's going to play. There's a lot of questions. So I'm going lower. I think fewer than 51% chose Ridley in this poll.
How have I never heard the expression hopium before?
Oh, that's my favorite. I'm an optimist. It's what I use.
That's so good. I've never heard that. Whenever you said it, I let out a little giggle because I was just like, that's perfect. And I've never heard those words before.
Guys, I would have to argue though, man. Just think about Ridley coming into an offense that was very much, playing very well. Got Trevor Lawrence there, and he's been actually going up a lot too. I mean, recently with him being reinstated soon.
Well,
So-
just for the sake of argument, this is what my friend John Bosch always says. I'm playing the game, not the answer. Like I'm playing the people that are answering the poll, not what
Yeah.
I think the poll is, right?
That's true,
And
that's
then he
true.
talks about this a lot on DGN and Dynasty Game Night, where it's like, hang on, this isn't what I think the answer is. It's what I think people think the answer is. There's a layer removed here. And that's why I use the term hopium, because I think there's a lot of optimism for Dotson.
There is.
And Ridley has some questions. I personally like Ridley. I think that's not a bad pick at all. I like 51's a terrific line, too. Well done.
See how terrific it is. A reminder to everyone in the chat, play along with us. Throw your answers in the chat, and we'll shout you out. Dave in here went 28%. These guys with 37.
Wow, I'm way higher than everyone, huh?
6. Scampers with 66%.
Oh, scampers.
42.
Oh, here we go.
Albert with 45. Jay with 69%.
He
And
would.
Dave said, I love JL's confidence for this one. Well, guys, the actual percentage of people that chose Calvin Ridley over Jahan Dotson, based on a grand total of 1,790 votes, was 53%.
Oh,
So
I knew
just
it.
about a perfect guess.
did
You were
not.
I knew it.
JL, your confidence.
Not a
never
doubt in my
wavered.
mind. I knew it from the start.
Well, for knowing it from the start, you're going to get 2 points, JL. Cho, that is going to give you 5 points for getting
Yes.
within 5 on that one. A great start. And
Nice.
Andrew, it's still early, my friend. It is
Yeah,
still
you'll do it,
early.
man. I
Never-
believe in you, Andrew.
Never
One
feels good
question
getting that
in.
that's still early consolation.
Hey, no,
I'll
that
take
I love the still early. I'm all about a comeback.
I'm like, yeah.
Can't come back if you're not down at some
Let's
point. Let's go.
My whole life has been, it's still early. I still got time.
It's still early. Yeah,
And then you hit
time.
40 and you're like, what's happening in my life?
It happens every day when I look up at the clock and I'm like, when the hell did it become 8 p.m.? Before we move on to our next poll, Josh, I did want to ask, do you prefer Ridley or Dotson in this scenario? If you're sitting on the clock, you have to pick one of these two guys. They're the last two that you're considering. Which one are you drafting?
Oh man. So I think I do lean Ridley a little bit here, but Dotson, he has the youth, and he's been explosive in the times where he's been able to get in. I'm just not sure about what that offense is going to look like. I know Wentz just got dropped, but he was the best QB on the roster. I wonder how they're gonna, fix that situation there. I know Howell's coming in. I'm not really big on him being like the guy there. So Dotson might have kind of prolonged value just because of age, but really isn't exactly old either. And, I think I would want him because my teams are generally win now. So I probably want Ridley there.
Calvin Ridley. I see Alex in the chat with the yo. We were just talking about you, Alex. And by we, I mean JL specifically and Dave in the chat.
What's up, Bobby?
We're talking about you. Andrew, I know you mentioned that you prefer Ridley. So agreeing with Josh up there, are you nervous about him coming back after not having played? Clearly, it's not enough to make you want Jahan Dotson over him, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think 51 is the right answer because I think that's kind of where my percentage is of how much I want Ridley, right? Where it's like they're pretty close. Sense. That's a good poll. Yeah. But I also think that Ridley is on a better offense. I mean, obviously, like I just said with the Wentz thing, there could be some people thinking they get better. Well, they could get worse. I think Ridley's got a more proven talent. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder with something to play. You could build the narrative either way. Yeah. I liked Ridley a lot when he played for the Falcons with Julio Jones and did a really good job and showed us who he is. I don't know that he's going to be that same guy, but Dotson hasn't really lived up to the potential he was supposed to be yet either. So, I mean, it's kind of a tough one. I think that the offense is better in Jacksonville. He might have less competition if you count Kirk as competition than Dotson would have with McLaurin, but it's getting nitpicky. They're both very close. So, yeah, I would probably take Ridley in a startup, let's say, or if it was a trade and I had Dotson, I'd probably take Ridley. Now, a year ago, no way in hell would I do that, right? You have to take Dotson because we don't know what's going on with Ridley. Now we know. I think Ridley's going to come back. I think that the team wants him back. They traded for him, I believe, right? Or it wasn't a signing. I think they had to trade something away, if I recall. Yeah. Either way, the team wanted him. That's all that matters, and I think that's going to bode well for him going forward.
Yeah, I mean, just a few years back, remember when Ridley was there, he was a top 12, consensus dynasty wide receiver. So, for lack of better terms, I'd bet on Ridley.
Yeah, too soon. I don't know.
No, it's been a year now,
Yeah, but he still hasn't played. I don't know if he can't bet on Ridley. You know what I mean? Like,
as long as he doesn't bet on himself, I think he's okay.
In the metaphorical sense,
in the metaphorical sense, it's not the literal. Stop, please. Don't do that again.
Have you guys seen the interview with Drake and Caleb Presley? I know I sent it to JL the other day, but there's a moment where Caleb Presley's asking Drake, like, you love to bet, right? And he's like, yeah, I love betting. And he's like, what's your favorite thing to bet on? And he thinks for a minute and he goes, fatherhood. It's one of those moments you just gotta watch it. Pull up that interview. I haven't watched it. It's like 11 minutes, and it's a phenomenal watch right there.
That's pretty good.
After round one, Josh, you're gonna have 5 points. JL 2. Andrew sitting down there at 0, but there is a lot of game left. And JL, it is your poll. Are you ready?
Yeah. Before we do, Coop comes in with some word of advice. Be careful. You spend too much time trying to think the way Twitter thinks, and you could lose your marbles.
It's true.
Lucky for you, I keep my marbles in a safe.
I don't know where mine are. Oh, I've lost them already. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I almost overshared. Dave in here said, shout out Drake from the Canada area.
Shout out Drake. Let's go.
That's right.
What's up, Drake? And also saying Drake's son is cute in that interview. Yes, Drake's son is also a part of that interview. So if Drake and Caleb weren't enough to watch it, Drake's son is cute as hell in that interview. JL, here is your first poll. Are you ready?
Yep.
Dynasty poll. Side A is Mac Jones. Side B is Kenny Pickett. What percentage of people prefer Mac Jones in this poll?
Mike Jones or Kenny Pickles?
Not Mike Jones, not the rapper. Let's be clear, right?
Kenny Pickles is correct.
Kenny Pickles. I gotta believe it's on the Mac Jones side. That dude, sentiment on that guy is wild. Just slinging back and forth within a season. So I could have there's a chance I don't have a good beat here on how Twitter feels about Mac Jones, but I still feel like it's got to be over Kenny Pickett. So I'm going to go with 56%.
56% from JL.
Yeah.
Andrew, are you agreeing with JL's logic here? You want to queen bee it, or are you taking the over or under on 56%?
I like the logic. I think you're probably on the right side of 50, but I don't think it's that much over 50. So I'm going to take the numbers and go under. But I also think this is a poll I almost posted myself. Like, this is one that I've been battling where, like, you know, I've got some leagues where I've got Kenny Pickett. There's an orphan I just took over that's got Kenny Pickett. I think Mac Jones might have a better year. I think I might be able to flip him better in you know, leading up to the season. So for dynasty value's sake, I might rather have Jones, but it's a tough one because the I don't know, the leash is shorter on Mac Jones, I think. So yeah, I'm going under, but this is another good one. It's another good one. We'll see if my zero stays strong, I think, as Coop was saying. So we'll see.
Yeah, Coop in the chat said Hall has 0, but it's a strong
It's
zero.
a strong zero.
Yo,
Pretty
it's been
strong.
flexing. Joe, are you following Andrew here on the under, or are you taking the over on JL's guess of 56%?
I think it's lucky for me, and I probably made it so that this is not a question I have to actually deal with on any of my dynasty rosters.
Lucky.
So it doesn't really carry much relevance because I stay away from both of these guys. But I'm gonna go with. So if I say under, it means under the actual or under what JL guessed?
It means that you think the actual answer. So what the poll says in front of me
Yeah.
right now is lower than what JL said.
Okay, it's definitely.
So-
I'll take the under.
Yeah, JL set the line. So you're taking
Yeah.
the under as well?
Yep, I'm
Okay.
taking the under.
We got double unders on that and some answers in the chat. Dave saying, I can't lose my marbles if I never had them. Checkmate, marble manufacturers.
There you go, Dave.
Uneasy in here with 50%. Dave going 58%. Dustin saying 30%. Dame with 38. Alex almost agreeing with 37%.
Yeah.
Jay coming in with 45, and Albert coming in with 36%.
Yeah.
The actual percentage of people that chose Mac Jones in this poll, John Luke,
Under 50.
was 39%.
Boo.
39%. So, Dale, unfortunately, you were 17 percentage points away, meaning you're going to get nothing for that. Almost within that range. But Andrew and Josh, you guys are both going to get 2 points for correctly picking the over-under on that one. Josh bringing you up to 7, and Andrew bringing you up to 2. The score now being
It's a strong
7.
2.
Oh, it is the strongest 2. That 0 was
Strongest two
strong.
I've ever seen.
That's what she said.
Before we move on from this one, it didn't sound like there was a lot of excitement from anybody on the Mac Jones or Kenny Pickett side here.
Yeah.
Well,
JL.
I'll jump in, I guess, here just real quick and just kind of add a little bit to what I said before. I think Mac Jones has a shorter leash, but I think he has probably a bigger upside for this year. I think if he does well, he could, be in the league a long time. And we saw Bill O'Brien's offense before at least work out somewhat well for the quarterback. I mean, he did some things with Davis Mills that I think were surprising to a lot of people. Patriots need a lot of help in a lot of ways. I think they're going to do that in free agency. They've had a history of doing that in free agency. So I just feel like right now, end of February, you're asking me which one would I rather have? I'd rather have Mac Jones, but I think the values say I can get more than just Mac Jones if I'm sending Pickett, which is even better. Like if I can send Pickett and get Mac Jones in a third, or Mac Jones and Evan Ingram, or like some other throw-in player, like I'm happy to do that. Because
Hey, Evan Ingram is not a throw-in player. Come on.
Well, I'm just saying someone like that, one of those things.
How
what I mean?
dare
Like
you?
I draw the line at Evan Ingram.
Coop is
Never.
about to take back that strong 0 in the chat with that.
I don't know.
Slander.
I like Ingram. What is it? Because he's too good or because he's too bad, Joe? Which one are you
He's
saying? on that?
amazing, man. He's
There
my,
you go. Okay.
He's my TE. That's my TE.
I'm fine with. That's what I'm saying. If I can get someone that doesn't think he's the TE and I get Ingram on top of Jones for Pickett, I'm happy to do that. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
That's the dream over there. Dame got it exactly right.
Dang.
38%. Dame.
Let's
Nice job,
go.
He
Dave.
didn't go overboard. He was just right on.
Oh, nice.
Unbelievable.
Say unbelievable. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Game on the leaderboard. How about that?
And Dustin and you saying Mac Jones needs a wide receiver. Maybe 2.
Oh yeah.
Which
Take
Kevin
Mac
Durant
Jones
is
needs a
okay.
lot of things.
Mac Jones needs more butter. He is running
Yeah.
low.
Okay, can I tell you something real
Mom!
quick? When I was a kid, like my mom made me mac and cheese, and it always tasted different whenever I went over to my friend's house. It was like, is this like, it's just different. It just tastes so much better. I learned that my mom never put milk in the mac and cheese, and she always used water to be healthier.
Yeah.
And so like for the longest time, I was like, mac and cheese isn't really all that great. But
And
then
then you learn the
eating at my
secret.
friend's place, I'm like, this is amazing. Like, what are you doing? It's the same box though, same box, like same powder. You
Your
know,
mom's like, shoot.
I know,
Well,
exactly.
it's funny you say that. My mom was the other way. She would put extra butter in it
Oh.
when we made it at our house. And so people would
Nice.
come over and they'd be like, this is the best mac and
Yeah,
cheese
see,
ever.
I
I'm
need to
like,
be over at your
I get
place.
this all
I
the
need to
time. Why I
get
gained a little weight when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like I was packing it on like Mac Jones over there. So yeah.
My household was a double butter for Kraft mac and
Oh.
cheese household. The best part about eating a box of mac and cheese is that you get to eat a whole stick of butter without even
That's
realizing it.
absurd. Because it's already an absurd amount of butter. And you're saying you're doubling what's on the package?
It
It's a
says
lot of
half a
dairy.
stick. You put a whole stick in there. 8
Just go to
tablespoons of
town.
butter.
I don't want to have to be cleaning off knives here, JL. Just throw the whole thing in there. Let's go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You leave the paper on too. It adds a little bit of texture.
That's too
Fiber,
far,
fiber.
Cyber. Too far.
I'm just- Well, guys, we are going to move on to our next poll. Andrew, this is going to be your first poll of the game. You ready?
Sure.
Here we go. This is another dynasty poll. My question for you is, would you prefer side A, Kyler Murray, or side B, Trevor Lawrence? What percentage of people said Kyler Murray in this poll?
Okay. To talk this out a little bit, I think there is a perception that Murray is damaged goods right now because of the injury. He's not going to be coming back to start the season. I don't think. I think a lot of people are nervous about that offense and that team and where are they going. Trevor Lawrence's last game was second to last game was phenomenal. Last game was still really good against the Chiefs. I think that there's a lot of hype on Lawrence's name. So I'm going to say Murray, the line is 44% for Murray.
44%?
44 is my line.
44% from Andrew. Cho, do you think the actual answer is over or under Andrew's guess of 44%?
Ooh, man, this is a tough one. I actually moved Murray because being win now, and I moved him and a couple other guys for Justin Herbert recently, like last season. I love Kyler Murray. I mean, easily top 1 potential or top QB potential in Dynasty with his running and passing. But Trevor Lawrence, I think he's gotten a lot more hype and with the injury. So you said, what'd you say, 44%?
44 was my line, yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna go with over. Yeah.
More people selecting Kyler Murray.
Yeah, than 44%.
Cho taking the over there. John Luke, you agreeing with Josh, or are you taking the under? Or are you queen being? Andrew's guess of 44%.
I think this is under.
Under?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think it's significant.
Terrific analysis, JL. That's phenomenal. Just
Yeah. I'm going to take the
I
under.
think it's going to be like 1 or 2 percentages over, like 45 or 46. I think.
I thought you were about to full on reveal one word at a time. I think this. I think this is. I think this is under.
I believe that we will win.
I think that this is under. But this is under. We just bust out into the chant.
Yeah, no, I'm going to take the under.
Okay, JL taking the under on that one. We had some answers in the chat. Dave coming in with 22%.
Ooh,
Stampers at 29. Dustin with 15.
Wow.
Uneasy guessing 37%.
closer.
Peaked going 32%.
The
Albert
disrespect is
right up there
real.
with you with
There we
41%.
go.
And
Okay.
Dame going with 48%.
Thanks,
So
Dave.
people in the
Dave.
chat, they are thinking that Twitter is being disrespectful of Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
We will see, or properly respected if they also believe what they are saying in the chat. The actual percentage of people that chose Kyler Murray over Trevor Lawrence, according to this poll, was 14%.
14?
Wow.
14 based on 1,150 votes. Trevor Lawrence got
14%?
86% of the vote in this one. Kyler Murray with 14. Dustin,
Dude, it's the trends. They're trending in different
By
directions.
Murray, my
Dude,
goodness.
seriously, man. Buy
Golly.
Kyler Murray instantly.
That's yeah.
No
That's
way I would
crazy
have guessed
to me.
that low. Holy crap, that's ridiculous. I almost said 30. Then I'm like, no, I want to give some room for you guys to have some fun line. I was like, I'll go up a little. And I was like, I think 44 is a little high, but I think that's where Twitter is kind of overcast.
Wow.
Man, I did not guess 14. That's crazy.
I'm a little biased too because he's my Korean brother right there. You
That's
know what I'm
right.
saying? So
Yeah.
gotta give him
Support.
those percentage points.
gotta
That's
add
crazy,
10
though.
percentage
Okay.
points onto that side just
That's
for
fair.
that.
Well, I just made a trade for Kyler Murray too. In the league I took over, I traded CeeDee Lamb straight up for Kyler Murray in a 14 or 12 team superflex. It's best ball too. But I was like, it's strong receivers on that orphan team. Like best QB was Daniel Jones, I want to say something like that, where it's like not my favorite, and I was like, I like Kyler Murray. I think he's going to do well. So I should have aimed for Trevor Lawrence on that one. All right.
Yeah. I mean, I would have tried to get, I'm sure you did try to get something back with Murray there, just because his value is so subdued because of the injury. And I can understand that for a team that wants to win next season, like they might be willing to trade a little bit, for lesser value or less than he's worth, so that they can compete if like he's one of 2 or 3 QBs that they have. So I can understand it, but man, that is such disrespect, man.
That's way low. I didn't know he was that low. I would have asked for more. I didn't realize everybody hated him this much. I guess I should have done a better job. Yeah. But Dustin question with 15. God.
He just about got it. I was confused at first when I saw this, but then I started thinking about like the mock drafts we've done so far this offseason. Yeah. Superflex mock drafts. Trevor Lawrence, every single one I've done, he's a first-round pick. I have not seen him not go in the first round in a single Superflex startup mock draft. Sometimes even as high as the 5th quarterback off the board after the big
generational for sure.
Like I have seen him go as quarterback number 5 in a Superflex Dynasty League. Right now, I have not seen Kyler. Yeah, I've seen him sneak in at the back of the first round, but usually that's Dak Prescott right there, and then Kyler goes a couple picks later. So even though they may be relatively close in value, I'm thinking there hasn't been a single mock draft all offseason or since the season ended where I've seen Kyler go before Trevor. And so I guess that's where it's lying. But I
got to watch your mock draft shows more. I would have learned that. Dang it.
Yeah. Or I'll get in there and just start pounding best ball drafts.
I know. That's probably what I need to do. Yeah. I'm out of practice.
Was it Peng's probably already got 1,000 under his belt at this point.
Oh gosh.
I know that dude goes wild on those. Well, guys, after the first full round, our scores are Josh with 7, JL with 4, and Andrew with 2 points. We have a whole nother round and a final round left to go.
Let's go.
Josh, you ready for your next poll?
Oh, I am.
Let's do it. Here is your next poll. This is a Dynasty Superflex 14-team league.
Oh, snap.
Side A is the 2023 Rookie 104. Side B is Garrett Wilson. What percentage of people would prefer the pick in this trade?
Oh, man. People go so insane for picks. I would personally take Garrett Wilson here because you're not going to get probably the top 2 QBs in Stroud or Young. And, of course, we got Bijan at 1. Yeah, I like Garrett Wilson better than the other wide receivers in this draft. I'll go with the public will say, you know what? I think they're going to go 40. I'll go 47%.
47% on the 104 side. Yeah. Now, Jalen and Andrew, before you guys guess, and Josh, this will apply to you in the next 2 rounds. There are now 2 more options that you can guess instead of just over and under and Queen B. There are now the way over and way under options for the next 3 polls. If you think your opponent is 15 percentage points or more off, you can choose way over or way under. It is a double or nothing mechanic, though. So if you say way over and they're 14 percentage points off, you're going to get nothing. But if they are, in fact, way over or way under, you'll get double the points and you're going to get 4 points. So keep that mechanic in mind. And with that, JL, Cho gets 47% on the 104 side. Are you taking the over, under, way under, or Queen B? So we got Marty in here. Said, "Sup, fellas? 3-5. What up, Marty?
What up, Marty?
Straight
vibing. See him, my guy. This one is tough. What did he guess? 40 something? 44?
Or 47. I was looking at the one above it. I got him right there.
Did he just give away the answer?
No, I gave away Andrew's
44. 47. I think I got to take the under here. Garrett Wilson has just skyrocketed to the top here, just in the recent last 2 months. So I'm going to take the under. I'm tempted to take the way under. It's 15, so that would be what, 32?
Your math is correct.
32 or lower, is it inclusive?
It is inclusive.
Oh, all right. I think I'm going to take the way under.
JL taking the way under, using the new mechanic right away. Andrew, are you following JL on the way under? Are you taking the under? The over?
I have to. I'm down by too many points. I got to go way under. And I love the logic here though, and I think the only thing is it's the 104 in Superflex, which is almost not going to be a quarterback. It's going to be the best receiver in my mind in most of the mocks I've seen. It goes Bijan, the 2 quarterbacks, and then whatever receiver you want. I'm with you, Cho. I would much rather have Garrett over any of the receivers in this class. Yeah. We've already seen what he can do, and I'm saying much rather, as in 20% would pick the pick. So in my mind, if 20 or 25%, even thinking there is this, rookie fever happening right now where people want the picks, I'm not selling Wilson for that low. So I'm going to go with the way under as well. And again, being down 3rd place, I got to reach for the stars or else you never know I might miss, right? Let's go. So yeah, I'm going way under.
Well, this could be a big comeback round if it hits for you guys. It will level the playing field quite a bit if it hits, but we got to find out. We had some guesses in the chat. Dave in here with 24%, Dustin with 49%, Dame coming in with 29%, Uneasy with 33%. Mr. Scampers coming in with 33%.
Wow.
Too high.
Alex with 13%. Albert with 20%.
Albert.
And Coop going with 4. The actual percentage of people that chose the 104 over Garrett Wilson in a 14-team Superflex Dynasty League was 22%. So I'm sorry you were outside of the 15 percentage points, and JL and Andrew
high five, JL.
Successfully got the way under.
I really thought the public loves picks too much to make it that far apart.
You know
they
what?
love Garrett Wilson even more.
If this was after the NFL draft, you might be right, because there's a really weird spike that happens. We've seen this every year once landing spots are decided, but I think as of right now, it's still a little bit question marky. So yeah.
Well, to Jail's point during the poll, I feel like I blinked and Garrett Wilson was the number 4 dynasty wide receiver on consensus
he's
rankings.
A beast,
he's not 4 yet. I think he's number 7 or something like that in consensus. But I feel like he was good and he was like a top 20 guy. And then I closed my eyes and logged onto Twitter, and everyone was like, "Yeah, he's the best thing that ever existed." Where were you?
I mean, look who he did it with. I mean, at QB, he made Elijah Moore look like dust. I mean, in terms of like getting on the field and playing. I don't know if people are still hanging on to hopes of Elijah Moore, but Garrett Wilson is the guy, on the Jets, so
for sure. I'm holding on to hope for Elijah Moore, just not on the Jets. We'll see if they can repair that relationship. I'm hoping he ends up somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's not like the talent just disappeared. Well, guys, after that one, big shifts in the scores. JL, you have taken the lead with 8 points after that. He had 4. Got 4 more points for correctly getting the way under.
Rigged.
Josh, you have
scripted.
Reach for the stars, Andrew.
You got the script this morning, right?
Yeah, this was me.
Yeah, we sent the script over this morning. And then Andrew, you are 1 point behind Josh at 6, but everybody within 2 points here.
Now it's a game. Let's go.
It is truly anybody's game.
Oh man.
And Alex in here said Garrett Wilson is even better than sliced bread, let alone the best thing since it.
Unsliced bread is terrible. Has anyone ever had unsliced bread? It's horrible. Like, just I'm not slicing it myself. Let's be honest. Yeah, just I'm pulling it apart. It's terrible.
A baguette.
Yeah, a baguette.
Sometimes when I lived in Atlanta and I would find myself hungover on a Sunday morning, there was a bakery up the street, just up the corner, and I would walk up and I wouldn't buy any of the pastries or anything as like punishment for myself. I like bread, but like no flavor, just sustenance. I would buy their leftover baguettes from the day before and just go home and lay in bed, just like ripping off chunks of baguette with House Hunters International on until I felt better.
Yes.
That's the hangover.
3 years later, Simon emerged. Yeah.
And here we are today. Marty wanted to know Dynasty startup. Who you guys got?
The same thing.
Jalen Waddle or Garrett Wilson? Andrew, who would you be taking here? Would you take Jalen Waddle or Garrett Wilson in a Dynasty startup?
I'm still leaning Waddle. I just think that offense, again, with Tua and everything, I like Waddle a lot. I mean, no hate, no harm at all to Wilson. If you think Wilson's better, I'm not going to fight you too hard, but I like Waddle more myself still.
Josh, what about you? Waddle or Wilson?
Man, this is a good one.
And this isn't the poll. This is just a question.
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
I'll probably lean
over.
Yeah, I'll probably lean Waddle as well. But man, it's really close. I do think Waddle's in a better situation, at least in terms of the offense that he's on and what they're trying to do. And man, he balled out, right? I mean, first couple seasons, so he has had more on his track record, if you will. But Wilson's trajectory is, I mean, he's going to be a monster, for years to come as well. So yeah, it's tough, but I think I'll lean Waddle here.
I'm with you guys.
Yeah.
JL, are you leaning Waddle or are you leaning Mr. Wilson?
Yeah, no, Waddle is a top 5 dynasty wide receiver for me, which I know that's got to hurt Simon.
Waddle. Yeah, that trade. That is
dynasty trade.
Maybe the worst trade I ever made in
Wait,
Dynasty.
what?
I've made
What
some
was the
bad
trade?
ones.
Yeah,
Worse
It was
than our other one?
during the draft. I had the 10th pick. It was a 10-team league. I have the 10th pick. JL then has the first pick of the second round.
Uh-huh.
There's 2 wide receivers on the board. I'm trying to decide between 2 guys that I really liked when I went in and watched their college tape.
Yeah.
One of them was Jalen Waddle,
Uh-huh.
and the other one was Terrace Marshall.
Okay.
And in my mind, I'm like, if I can get an extra pick out of this and get, I love both of these guys. I'll just get the one JL doesn't want, and I'll get an extra pick, and it'll be all good. And I left the draft feeling like freaking
crushed it.
Like added an extra third, got myself Terrace Marshall, and all JL walked away with was Jalen Waddle.
Oh,
And,
man.
What an idiot.
Top
I
5
know.
dynasty wide receiver.
Wow.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Well,
we all
Same
have
thing
that.
happened with Antonio Gibson like the year before, and you sniped him from me. So
I'll trade you
All's fair.
Antonio Gibson for Jalen Waddle.
no, thank you. I am
Make-
good. Decline.
Just to
Decline.
correct the 2 mistakes we made. It'll be fair right there.
Oh, thank you.
Everybody's square after that, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, John Luke, JL, Joel, as some have said. Are you ready for your next poll?
Yep.
Here we go. Dynasty PPR.
Mm-mm.
Side A is Saquon Barkley. Side B is Kenneth Walker. And side C is Travis Etienne.
There's a
What
side
percentage?
C.
There's a side C. It came out of nowhere. But JL, you got to figure out how to manage that and tell me what percentage of people chose Saquon Barkley in this poll.
These guys got to be back to back to back. So I'll go with 27%, 26%.
26% final
Yeah,
answer.
Let's go his number. Let's use his number as guidance here. Yeah.
I'll
Final answer.
believe you that that's his number. JL taking 26%. Andrew, are you taking over, under, way under, or queen bee on JL's answer of 26%?
I kind of want to take Queen Bee. What do I get if I get it right on with him? Do we
10
both get the
points.
same points?
Yeah, you both get 10.
It's a close game, though. I'm not
so
that far
pissed if you
down.
Do that.
I know. I'm not going to do that. That was
Go
tempting.
for it, man.
I'm
It also
so
would be a
mad.
fun story with it being his jersey number. That would
Take
be
away
just
my glory.
kismet. No,
It would be his
I-
glory at that
I
point.
like what you
Yeah,
said
because
there.
there's no way anybody cares about me getting it exactly right.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Everybody's
no.
gonna be freaking out about him.
The
Oh,
first
who cares?
queen
Come
bee.
Stealing my
on.
shine.
We care, JL. We're all fans of yours. So I think I'm going to talk this out for a half a second without giving too much away. Hopefully, I agree with what you said, JL. I think all 3 of these guys are really close in rankings. And if you're putting up a Twitter poll and you're saying to them which one of these would you want, which is basically all you can do in Twitter. It's not ranking them, right? This is a Twitter poll. You have to pick one. I'm not sure if people would pick Walker or ETN over Barkley. I'm not sure about that. I think there are some that would, but I don't know how many. And I think you're splitting the people there. So I'm going to go a little bit off the rails and say it's over for Barkley. It's over 26, even though in my head, I would probably say it's, like you said, like a third each, but that gives me that third each. If it's all 33s, then that's over 2. So I'm going to go with 33. I think Barkley, the name value, still has some weight.
Said
Okay.
a lot of numbers.
Andrew taking the
You
over.
might have
3-3,
convinced me.
3-3. Are you agreeing with Andrew here, Cho, or are you taking the under? You going way over,
Man.
way under? Or are you
Barkley's
queen
one of
bee
my
in it?
favorite dynasty players. And I was hyping him when his value was kind of starting to drop and people were kind of Xing him out. He showed what he could do this past season. Man, but youth is so important at the running back position. Kenneth Walker, obviously, being the youngest here. What was his number? JL's number?
26.
26%. I'm gonna go over here. I think it's gonna be like 28 or something like that. Maybe a couple percentage points above.
Well, JL, you reverse split the room with this one. Both of your contestants taking the over. We had some
Ain't
answers
that
in
something?
the chat. Dave going with 8% on the Saquon side.
Oh.
Shraggy, what's up, Shraggy? Welcome in, my friend.
What up?
Said 34%. Uneasy with 27. Alex going with 15%. Dame saying 31. We got Marty with the
Marty.
32 guess. Scampers with 28, right in line with you, JL, and even more in line with you, Josh, and what you said. And Dustin with 38%. Albert with 23. So a lot of the answers pretty congregated right
Mhm.
around your guess. We'll see what the actual percentage is. The percentage of people that chose Saquon Barkley over Kenneth Walker and Travis Etienne in this poll was 29%.
Oh.
JL, a great poll for you, but good for Josh and Andrew as well. Going to keep this game close. You'll extend your lead a little bit by getting 5 points. So that's going to put you up to 13 if my math is correct. Andrew, that's going to bring you up to 8. Well within striking distance. And Josh, you were at 9. Also well within striking distance.
71% of the chat took the over.
They all took the over on that one. So they
71%.
They got it right.
14% took the under. 14% took the way under.
Ooh.
Some danger.
Dave. Yeah, it was
Danger
Dave.
goals.
That was
Dave multi-clicking. Yeah.
Danger Dave.
Danger Dave.
Dave Underboard. That's right.
Lieutenant Dave.
Raised on the mean streets of Toronto.
That's right.
He shows up in every poll to vote for Gotcha. This poll broke down Kenneth Walker with 38% and ended up winning, but the winning person in this poll had 38%. So it was very close. Travis Etienne in second with 33%, and then Saquon Barkley just behind him in third with 29%. So people valuing youth ever so slightly here, but it looks like maybe this is a tier. These guys seem like maybe a dynasty running back tier. You can get the safety of Saquon Barkley and what we've seen and what we know, but maybe limited years and probably the superior talent to both of these other guys. I think Saquon's the better player, or you get way more years of a young and rising running back. Yeah. Just different philosophies.
Yeah.
Etienne's usage, right? I mean, Etienne's usage has been a little bit, confounding in that you'd expect him to get a lot more looks in the passing game. Not that he's not getting any, but I mean, he's kind of being used much more like a traditional runner. And I think if they up his targets and receptions more, I think he has a lot of potential to, really produce at a higher rate. So we'll see what happens if they decide to do that or not.
It's a big if, but if that happens, he's one of those guys that could take a big jump next year.
100%.
Like, I would not be shocked if you told me that Travis Etienne had 70 targets next year. I'd probably have him as a top 5 running back up there in that range. But that's a big if, and I'll probably rank him somewhere in between what he did last year and what I'm hoping for next year.
Well, but that's actually why Etienne's a target of mine right now. Like I'm trying to go out there and see what I can, see what trades I can send to get Etienne, because I think a lot of people are still kind of sleeping on him a little bit. Yeah. Not a lot, I guess I shouldn't say. There are still people that are sleeping on him. And I think that I'm with you. I think he's easily a top 10, if not a top 5 running back, if he continues what he's been doing. And they got rid of competition and they let it all on his shoulders, and he did well with it. I don't know why they would change that. So, yeah, I think Etienne's a slam dunk. I mean, Walker's not a bad player either. I'm not saying anything there. I think all 3 of these guys being a tier makes total sense to me. And I had the rankings a little different than the Twitter poll came out to be. But again, that's what makes it a tier, right? Is that they're all kind of about the same value. Like, I'm fine to get one or the other and trade up and trade down if I need to.
Alex said they're all within like 2 points of each other on the chart. They're all within 2 points of each other on the chart. Yeah, sitting in that similar tier. Also, did my lights flash or did I just blink a lot? I hear the screaming too, but
you hear my dog going barking
I thought my lights flashed, but now I'm realizing it may have just been a slow blink. Anybody see my lights flash?
Are you okay, man? You're on a show right now.
Cool.
You need some marbles.
Yeah, I think I dropped some marbles under the desk. My girlfriend and I were watching Gravity Falls the other day, and somebody said he doesn't blink, and one of the characters said, maybe you just blink at exactly the same time. And now it's in my head, and I can't how do I?
I'm gonna mute myself real quick and tell my dog to quiet down.
How do you ever know that somebody actually blinks?
That's a crazy idea. Like, if for the rest of your entire life, you and your wife or girlfriend just constantly blink at the same time, that'd be creepy.
You both think the other one never blinks because you're always blinking at exactly the same time.
So
meant to be. Yeah, that's right.
I thought about it for way too long. Well, guys, we're going to move on to our next poll, the last one before our final round, which means, Andrew, this one is coming your way. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Here is the penultimate poll. This is a 10-team Superflex Dynasty League. Side A is Treylon Burks. Side B is DeAndre Swift. What percentage of people prefer Treylon Burks in this poll?
Man, I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what,
man. My word. I am old.
All right.
If I do that,
does that make me racist if I start talking?
I don't think so.
Come on,
Now
y'all.
you got it.
Let me tell you what.
Southern's okay.
That's
You
even
can be
better.
Southern anywhere.
Anybody
I
can be a
think-
cowboy.
I think the tricky part of this is going to be
motivates.
trying to play YouTube because I think Burks and Swift are both very big question mark assets in Dynasty. But man, 10 team changes it a little for me. And I think Swift is going to be the favorite a little bit there because of 10 teamer. I'm going to put Burks at 29%.
29% on the
That's my line.
Burks
29, right
side.
under 30. I'm going to go a little low there.
Oof. Okay.
Joe, do you think the actual answer is over or under Andrew's guess of 29%? And maybe tell me a little bit about why you think that while I get this coughing fit out.
Yeah. What'd you say? You said 26%?
29.
29.
29er.
29%.
That's right.
Man. So Burks really hasn't shown too much so far. Swift, we know what he can do, but his usage has just been so
They
trash.
just won't let him do it.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Jamal Williams, I mean, he was rocking it, especially in the red zone. 29%. I'm gonna go with over here
Josh taking the over.
because I think it's probably a little bit closer because people have kind of been a little bit. People are still hopeful for Swift, but he just hasn't shown. He just hasn't shown the production that everyone expected of him as like a top 5, top 7, dynasty running back that they've had for a while. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with over 29%, probably in the low 30s.
The over,
Which is still
from
gonna give him
Josh.
points more than me if I get it right.
But
See
there's
what
still
happens.
a final poll. As long as you're within 5 on that last one, you got a real shot. Within 10, you got a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
But within 5, you got a chance. John Luke, are you agreeing with Josh here that the actual answer is over 29%? Are you taking the under, the way over? Are you queen being Mr. Hall over there? Those are all your options.
9%. It's a 10-team league, which makes me think this disparity is going to be even bigger. A top-end running back versus a wide receiver who's young, but still somewhat middling in terms of value at this point. I think I'm going to take the under.
JL taking the under on 29%. You split the room, Andrew, and we got some answers in the chat. 46 from Dave. Scampers wants to know, do I smell Pop-Tarts?
Do ya?
Do I? No, I don't. Dame said 59%. Schraggy with 16. So agreeing with you, JL. Marty with 47.
All over
Scampers
the
with
place.
69. Albert with
Jeez.
35. And Scamper said 29 and dash and diamond. You guys are doing. And Peaked said 37%. Well, the actual percentage of people that chose Treylon Burks in this poll was 44%.
Oh my
gosh.
44%.
Wow.
Oh, you are exactly within the range.
Oof.
15 percentage points away. You're going to score 1 point there, Andrew. Staying on the board, bringing you up
Mercy.
to 9. Josh, you are going to get 2 points for correctly picking the over on that one. And JL nothing, which means going into the final round, whoever is the closest
Wow.
on this last poll will be the winner of our game today.
Whoa.
Oh!
Wait, real quick. Did that qualify for way over? Like if I had said way over?
Had you said way over, it would have qualified.
Like
since
right
was-
on it, right?
Since it was 15. It is an
Oh,
inclusive
wow.
15 or more.
Yeah, you should have just gone for it. All right, let's go.
Hindsight is good, is what they always say, if I remember correctly.
I could have
30,
sworn that
40
like in
or
a
something.
10 team, I would rather have Swift. My goodness, that's a lot of people that are high on Burks. Again, someone else I might have to start
Yeah.
selling. I just, man.
Andrew, it's okay, man. You got it wrong, bro, right? No, I'm just kidding.
There's the clause.
Yeah, it took a minute. Josh was like, I thought I'd be winning at this point.
I rescind what I said about the nice guy bit.
Just trying to fit in here.
Scamper saying nice, Dave. Did
Nice.
Dave get it in the chat? Dave with 46 was by far the closest. Marty, I say by far. Marty had 47. So Dave
By
and
far.
Marty. Nice job, guys. Both of you very close on that one. You guys ready for our last poll? Does everybody have something, a pen and paper or a cell phone, something they could write on? Perfect.
Yeah.
Little
I'm
tiny
gonna
scrap for
propose-
you, Josh.
I used to try to write on the most ridiculous things possible. I got glitter glue in my keyboard for an extended period of time because I wrote in messy glitter glue on a piece of paper, then held it over my laptop and dripped glitter glue onto the keyboard. So learn from my mistake. No glue.
Never again.
No glue for this part. Here's your last poll. With 34,311 votes, Twitter was asked, do you think Drake knows how to make a pie from scratch? Side A is yes. Side B is no. What percentage of people said yes, Drake knows how to make a pie from scratch?
No, this is Drake Drizzy, not Kenyon Drake, right?
Yes, this is this
I
is
like
Drake.
the clarification. That's right.
This is Drake the musician.
The answers are probably about the same, but I like that you're curious.
Oh man, this is a good one.
The percentage of people that said yes.
The percentage of people that have confidence that Drake can make a pie from scratch.
All right, I got mine.
You got yours, JL?
Yep.
Well, we got some answers in the chat coming in. And Dave with the shout out Drake, from the Canada area.
From the Toronto area.
Is he from the Toronto area?
From Toronto.
Yeah, Six God from the Toronto.
I didn't want to say Toronto if he wasn't.
He was Toronto.
Okay. Canada's a big country. But I also know a lot of it's empty.
Yeah.
Okay. I might be way off on this one. We'll see.
Imagine if Drake was from Vancouver.
The music would just be entirely different.
Wildly different.
We got some answers in the
Calgary.
chat. Shraggy with 11,
Damn.
Scampers with 9, Uneasy with 7, Dave coming in with 28, Dame with 24%, Dustin with 5, Grim with 88, Albert with 12, and Peaked with 17%. What did you guys say for your answers? What do we got? Hold them up. JL said 42%. Cho said 59%, and Andrew said 13%.
Oh, I'm right in the middle.
He's like one of those kind of the type of guy that's kind of cookie cutter actually, even though he raps hard. So I think people are gonna take that image and be like, he can do it. He can bake pie from scratch.
Again, I think Twitter perception. You have people that are like, no, they don't even think about that. They just go, no. We're not talking dynasty now. We're talking Drake fans. Who knows? We'll see.
Well, we had some
crazy.
We had some answers in the chat. Pete
Drake
said, yeah, Kenyon Drake has a culinary degree, so he would have absolutely.
Alex would know that.
The actual percentage of people that chose yes, Drake can make a pie from scratch was 39%.
Oh,
JL,
no.
you are our poll perception champion today. Congratulations, my friend, with a final score of 18 to 13 to 9. John Luke Garoppolo of the home team. Wow. Josh, Joe, and Andrew.
Congratulations.
Hall. John Luke is your prize. You have won one spanking.
Oh my God! No way!
Congratulations. Woo!
I'm not here for that.
Pretty good script, though, if I do
Yeah,
say so.
it was pretty good. You had me at the first half,
That's right. Not gonna lie. Yeah, that was pretty good. Pretty good. Good job, JL. I'm proud of you.
Congratulations, JL. You were a worthy opponent.
I love scripting myself winning.
Andrew's like, what the hell?
Andrew, what can I congratulate you for? You did not win, man. Come on.
I tried my hardest. Does that not count for it? Oh, it doesn't count for anything. Oh, yeah. That's right.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I think you support the most successful NFL team out of any of us here. We all cry during the season.
It's been a long drought. I was due. Let's be honest. Like, come on. Yeah.
There you go. Well, guys, that is going to be it for us today. Before we go, though, please go and follow our incredible guests over on Twitter. You can follow Andrew on Twitter at Andrew Hall FF, and you can follow Josh on Twitter at JB Cho Knows. Easy to find below their handsome faces on the screen. So go check them out on Twitter. Hit that follow button. And if you enjoy what we did here, make sure you hit that sub button here and come hang out with us tomorrow morning from 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern time for the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show. And if you're West Coast, for the love of God, stay in bed and watch it later. Do not wake up, Dane.
Wake up. Put us in your ear. Go back to bed.
To sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Learn
danger.
while you sleep.
The dreams you would have having the three of us in your ear at 7 a.m. sounds like a nightmare. That sounds like a horror movie, like an abstract horror film. JL, Simon, and Coop control your dreams.
A nightmare that hugs you.
That should be your tag, like your motto. FYF, a nightmare that hugs you.
We'll have to take it to a vote. FYF, a nightmare that hugs you, or FYF, the best assholes.
The best.
We've
I'm
come
telling
up
you,
with
that's gonna draw the wrong crowd, man.
Yeah.
or
That's your OnlyFans motto.
Like which one are you talking about? What are you
FYF.
talking about here?
The right.
Oh,
well, guys, that's going to be it for us today. We will be back tomorrow morning, like I said. Until tomorrow, though, adios, everyone. Congrats to JL, and another big thanks to Andrew and Josh. And thank you to everybody in the chat who came and hung out with us today.
Yes.
Y'all rock.
Until mañana, adios, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Buenvenido.
Where's the button? There it is.
Wow.